Joining me now, ladies and gentlemen, Ronald Kessler, New York Times best-selling author, former Washington Post reporter, and author of The First Family Detail: Secret Service Agents Reveal the Hidden Lives of the President. And I would assume, Ron, that there's a lot of Secret Service agents breathing a sigh of relief today?
That's right. A lot of Secret Service agents were ready to retire rather than continue with Hillary Clinton. And because she's so nasty to her agents, in fact, being assigned to her detail is considered a form of punishment. But let me just tout Newsmax for a second. In January 2011, I wrote a column on Newsmax, and the headline was, "Don't Underestimate Donald Trump for President." And it went into the fact that Donald Trump really is a genius when it comes to marketing. He came up with the whole idea of branding real estate. That's how he became so successful. And that behind the scenes, he's a totally different person from what you see on TV, where he makes these often outrageous comments to get media attention. But behind the scenes, he's a very savvy businessman. He's very compassionate. He's certainly not prejudiced, and he's farsighted. He also gets into the nitty-gritty details of what he's doing and what his business is like. So I called it in January 2011. I've been doing stories since then saying that he will be elected. And maybe it's because I didn't graduate from college. I didn't have the savvy of other people to know that he wasn't going to make it.
So let me ask you this. What kind of unique challenges do you believe the Secret Service will have with Donald Trump and his family? Anything different because of the fact that, you know, we have not only a president, obviously, which makes you a celebrity, but a celebrity and a very, divided country where a lot of people are going to be very unhappy on the left with the Donald Trump presidency.
That's right. Typically, presidents who really stir up emotions, such as JFK, for example, or Ronald Reagan, are the ones who become targets of assassination attempts or actual assassinations. And so there has to be a special consideration given to protecting Donald. I hope he wears his bulletproof vest. I hope he appoints a new director who will shake things up in the Secret Service so that there isn't this cover-up mentality that we've seen, which has led to so many problems. I think, I know my book, The First Family Detail, is on the top of his desk, and I think he will appoint a good person to head the Secret Service.
So you feel that they need to appoint a new person to correct everything that we've seen over the years with Obama, people hopping the fence, people getting into the White House, et cetera. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. President Obama appointed Joe Clancy as the new director. He was a veteran agent, totally part of this cover-up culture. For example, when he testified in Congress as acting director, he was asked, well, how come the Secret Service issued a statement saying that Gonzalez, the person you mentioned who went into the White House, didn't get in the White House, and that he was apprehended and that he wasn't armed? That was not true. That was a lie. And Clancy said, well, no, that was just an error. And then he was asked, well, how do you know? And he said, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know what happened. So that's the kind of guy that Obama appointed to supposedly improve the Secret Service. And really, nothing has gotten better there. There have been no recent incidents, that's true, but you never know. Tomorrow there could be a serious assassination attempt, and you have to have someone, for example, a former FBI official. FBI has been doing a marvelous job to head the Secret Service and to change the culture, which is the culture within the management, not among the agents who are brave and dedicated, but the management has this lax attitude and cover-up culture that has got to stop.
Let me ask you, Ron, I'm very curious to what you have to say about this. What happens to Hillary Clinton? We saw her choking back emotion today, saying it was very painful. Basically, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it could be a farewell speech. I mean, I don't know who's going to pay her that kind of money to make speeches anymore. She really doesn't have to earn another penny. Neither does her husband. Does the foundation stay open? Does she ride off into the sunset with the whole family? Does she get pardoned? Does she get indicted? Is there a special prosecutor in a new Justice Department and a new administration? What do you see happening with the Clintons?
I think she's just going to enjoy life, and there will not be any prosecutions. There really was a valid reason why Jim Comey made his decision about not prosecuting. You have to look at the law and the precedents, the cases, and based on that, there was not enough evidence of criminal intent, as there was with Petraeus, who, besides being charged with careless, negligent handling of classified, was also charged with lying to the FBI. So that showed.
But Ron, with all due respect, I mean, we had the mother of a former Navy sailor who has a newborn kid who's in jail for a year because he took a picture in a nuclear sub as he was leaving and saying goodbye to it, and he took it, and the judge said there was no criminal intent. He said the guy loves his country. There was nothing nefarious, but he jailed him without any criminal intent. And there are others in that position as well.
Well, in that case, being part of the military, he could be charged with not following orders, and that's what contributed to his sentence. So that's a separate case. I interviewed John Martin, who was in charge of prosecuting this law for 25 years. In addition to all the other espionage laws, he prosecuted 76 spies. Only one led to an acquittal. From John Walker to Pollard to Aldrich Ames, and he said that during those 25 years, he never used that law for that purpose, for the same reason that a jury would not convict without a reasonable doubt someone who negligently handled misclassified, as opposed to.
We could debate this all day, and I respect the heck out of you. I'll just leave it with this. She told the FBI she didn't know what C meant. She told the FBI she thought C was like paragraph C. So if a jury hears that from a Secretary of State and former First Lady and former U.S. Senator, all of a sudden intent would come into play. And that's why two former U.S. Attorneys Generals told me on the air they would prosecute that case and win that case. But that's for another day. Listen, Ronald, always love your insight and appreciate you coming on, sir.
Thank you, Steve. I appreciate it.
All right, Ron, the great Ronald Kessler, ladies and gentlemen. The book, The First Family Detail, pick it up, and very pertinent now, and good advice for Donald Trump, says Ron Kessler. Get a new Secret Service head and wear your vest, of course. I almost said John Zogby. That's because up next, John Zogby, how did the pollsters get it so wrong? And a great Give Me Five, if I say so myself. It's all straight ahead in the final segment of America Talks Live, next.